response to dealing with a lot of inquiries for like $200, $300 music videos, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like, there's a market for that. That stuff's fine, but that's not my thing. Not just because of the price.
It ain't that I can't stop, it's that I won't stop. I made a few plays off a flip, now I'm on top. I'm Southside Chief, homie. Yeah. What you know about it? Lake Street legend CEO, not the co-founder. What you wanna know about me? I'm so churched up. I'm the last man standing, but I went first up. Most hated, they don't say it when I roll up. The things that people say about me, they don't say close up. Check it, I ain't been to the booth in a minute. Niggas hate the fact that I'm winning. Who makes him the chief of the south side? Oh my nigga, I'm not the lieutenant. When I was in the gym, you wasn't in it. FaceTime, so my windows is tinted. If I said that shit, then I meant it. Niggas gave me the rules and I backed it.
All right, another episode of Minnesota's #1 daily show live on Lake Street. Special guest in the building, another returning guest. We got the man, Ben Hughes.
Yeah.
How you feeling?
I'm pretty good. It's good to be here, yeah.
You ready? Round two?
I'm ready. Let's go.
Round two. Okay. So a lot has happened since the last time you were here.
Yeah, quite a bit, actually.
Not just for you, but just in general. Your name's been brought up a lot. You've kind of been responsive to some of it.
A little bit.
I've seen you popping your shit a little bit. You know, you being big, to me, in my opinion, one of the big dogs around here, if not the biggest dog. I mean, I'll let you say it.
Shit, man, I try to let my work speak for itself, you know?
Yeah.
I don't want to really be the guy who's just talking the talk instead of walking the walk, you know?
The one thing that I saw you say that I really liked, because you are a soft-spoken guy, and you don't pop your shit too much. Like you said, you let the work speak for itself. But the one thing I saw you say is that you were looking at making a return to shooting music videos.
Yeah, a little bit.
And I don't remember exactly how you worded it, but it was kind of like it was
a little snarky.
It was a little threatening.
It was
like,
yeah,
okay, y'all forgot about me.
No, what I said was what did I say? It was like the best decision I ever made was charging too much for MN artists. It wasn't meant to be that serious.
Yeah.
But hey,
it's the internet.
Yeah.
You're supposed to
it's
talk.
Just like that was basically a response to dealing with a lot of inquiries for like $200, $300 music videos, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like there's a market for that. That stuff's fine, but that's not my thing. Not just because of the price, just because of what like the amount of work that entails. Like the way I like to do videos is I like to shoot like a full day, multiple locations, have a script. I put a lot of time into my stuff. So
yeah, $300
doesn't really
is
make
not.
Sense.
Yeah, I mean you're looking at
to be in that, you know.
Yeah,
at least not at this age, you know. I'm 29. Like I started when I was 16, and I was doing those type of rates back then, but
yeah,
obviously, can't keep doing that.
So I mean, like you said, there's a market for that. I don't shoot music videos, but I am in media, and I know the amount of work that goes into what we do.
Yeah.
So I can only imagine what it's like for videographers, artists, you know, people that are shooting music videos, and not to mention you're dealing with sensitive artists and maybe sometimes privileged artists, I guess you would maybe say almost I mean,
it's case by case, you know, like privileged in what way?
Privilege might be the worst, might not be the right word, but it seems like, and I'm saying this because of artists that I've spoken to about like expectations for videographers. It's like, it shouldn't take you more than 2 days to get my video done.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is like those time frames are possible if you like zero in, drop everything, you know, 12 hours, and just go at it. But it's like for creativity, like you really want to be able to just work on it for a little bit, take some time, come back to it, and really just refine it, you know. So that's when like the 2-day turnaround type stuff is a little not unrealistic, but it's not even really in the artist's best interests for the quality of their video.
For sure.
It just depends on what they're trying to do. You know?
Yeah. So I haven't seen anything, but have you made a return? Have you shot music videos?
I've been doing a little bit. I don't usually like, I've been straying away from dropping music videos and stuff on my page just because I'm trying to rebrand like my work and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like the Limit Breaker Studios Instagram is pretty much like the Protectors stuff, movie stuff, and then corporate work and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And that's really where my focus is right now. I mean, I'm still going to be involved in music videos. I just don't want to be posting nothing but music videos and then people thinking that's all I do.
That's all you
know?
do, yeah.
Because that was the deal for a while. So I kind of went the opposite direction, you know.
Yeah. So you know, I watched the film after we talked about it. I could have watched it beforehand. I don't think I knew it was out though, or maybe it wasn't out yet.
I mean, it was probably out, but there's a lot of stuff on there. On the
Yeah,
internet, so.
but I did go watch it, and I was impressed. It's pretty well done. I mean, so when you watch that, like, do you? Like, if you watched that today, would you be just critiquing the fuck out of it?
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, I finished the final cut for that in around April 2020.
Yeah.
And then I did a little independent release that same year on Vimeo, and then I decided to take it off just because that's not, like, people don't watch movies on Vimeo like that.
True.
And then I eventually got picked up by a distributor, and then we dropped it on Amazon in 2021, at the end of 2021. And so now that movie, it's still like I still promote it and stuff like that, but I could do so much better now. I could pull off some crazy shit, and that's where my head is right now. Really, just trying to take things to the next level. Really push boundaries and really just upgrade my storytelling.
And that was all done. I mean, that's all you pretty much, right? Like
I mean, yeah, all the production stuff, filming, editing, sound.
Did you write
color
the film?
grading? I wrote most of it.
Okay.
I had
some writers.
a little bit of help on that. Yeah,
I saw some faces in there that I recognized too.
Yeah, there's a lot of people in the local scene getting their little cameos in there.
Yeah.
Jay Ritchell, local artist. Who else? Payne Campaign, my homie.
There was one person in there that I had a little spat with at one point.
Yeah, who?
I forget. I can't even remember. I can't even remember his name. But I know that he used to be an artist, and then he was not good as an artist, but he stepped into the acting world. So it was a surprise that I saw him in there. But there was a time where he was threatening me with bodily harm and shit like that.
Hey, well, everyone goes through different phases of their life. I don't know.
For sure. But it was funny to see him in there. I'm like, oh, that guy. I remember that guy. I remember him. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. But yeah, I definitely saw 3 or 4, maybe 5 faces in there that I recognized. So it was cool. It was cool to see. A film on Amazon Prime, like, that was pretty much all made, created here where I'm from. Like, it was cool to see. But it did make me wonder, like, what's next?
Yeah, so that's the exciting stuff here. I am going to be following up on The Protectors. First thing I'm following up on it with is this series that I'm working on, Metamorphosis.
Yep.
I briefly talked about it last time I was here, but I was keeping a lot under wraps. And now I've revealed a little bit more about it. I released the first teaser, and that's changing the game with Metamorphosis.
I saw the teaser.
Yeah,
it even looks. I mean, it looks better.
Yeah,
not to say the movie looked bad, but it looks.
No, I'm shooting for
bigger.
a higher standard with The Protectors. Like I wrote that in 2017. Mm-hmm. We filmed most of it in 2018. And 2019 was all editing and stuff. I was a very different person at the time, and I was really only shooting for like the ceiling, I was really just trying to make a fun superhero movie, superhero show, whatever, that I don't know, just I was going for that TV level quality, and now I'm really I'm just reaching for the absolute highest, because I do want to be up there with the greats of filmmaking.
Yeah.
As crazy as that sounds.
No, that's phenomenal to hear that.
And it just means holding myself to a whole nother level of quality standards, and as much as it is cool to get compliments and stuff, try to not take that stuff to heart, and always be mindful and critical of my work, at least to the level that it pushes me to be better,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. So that, but see, I wondered that though, is your goal to be in the conversation with the great, the greats? Do you aim for that?
Really it really is.
Yeah.
And as much as I love filmmaking, and superhero stuff and genre filmmaking, I am trying to evolve, not past that, but to the highest level of storytelling, regardless of whether or not it's superhero stuff, So the past couple of years, immediately after The Protectors, I started writing this series, and this series is very, very different. It's more of a drama mystery, and I'm really just working on myself as a writer, characters, storytelling, stuff like that.
Will you put yourself in your films ever?
I feel like that's I don't know. I don't think so.
I feel like that's really common in the kind of the superhero comic genre.
It is.
Or
I feel like I would want to dabble with acting, but I don't want to cast myself. Like I want to actually audition and earn a role potentially.
Yeah.
And then maybe after being cast in a bunch of other people's projects, maybe I would cast myself. But like I'm not gonna force it, you know.
You know, you had such an epic start, kind of. Well, I mean, I know there was time before it, but really putting your name on the map. You had such an epic start with your video, with your music videos. You know, working with like literally some of like the biggest artists on the planet. I've always wondered, like, do you ever strive to get back to that point, or not really?
To an extent, you know, but yeah, like I remember I did kind of grow pretty quick with the music videos. I started when I was 16, and then 2 years later, I'm doing the Chief Keef stuff. But I don't necessarily want to get back to that, because I remember back when I first started, like I was a little worried about doing too many music videos. I was kind of thinking like, last thing I want is for my YouTube channel, my filmmaking portfolio, to look like the MTV Jams of Minnesota or Minnesota, Chicago.
Yeah.
And then funny enough, that's exactly what happened. It turned into just music videos on my channel, and that's all I was known for. And yeah, like I'm down to keep going, keep doing music videos, but just not too many. Yeah, I got to be more well-rounded, you know. That's my focus right now.
Were you able to maintain relationships from that time in your life, or not really?
Oh yeah.
Like you got Chief Keef's number?
No, I always had his manager's number.
Okay.
The first video I actually did was for Alan Kingdom.
That's
back
right.
in 2010, actually.
Yeah.
Most people don't even know. People think Evergreens was the first video I did with him, but we actually shot something back when he had a different artist name.
What was his artist name?
It was Alan K. Freshly.
Alan K. Freshly,
I don't want to tell too much of his business.
Yeah.
Business, because he wanted me to delete that video, because he was 16 also. It was like we were kids and stuff, and not everyone wants their old stuff out there. But yeah, like that was the very first music video I ever shot. It was for Alan Kingdom back when he was just a kid. And then after that, it was Rocky, and then it was Fly, in that order.
Yeah.
And then Mike.
It's a pretty epic start.
Yeah.
Pretty epic start. Do you have a relationship with Alan still?
Yeah, a little bit. We're talking about projects.
Okay.
He's kind of doing his own thing. He just started this crypto cuts business.
Yep. Yeah,
he's really focused on his entrepreneur stuff, and yeah, we're all just kind of in our own lanes right now. But
for sure. Did you get a chance did it reach you through the Twitter sphere about a conversation that was recently had about a video that you had shot for Prince Riley?
The Twitter sphere?
I made that word up.
Just
did it reach you at any point?
It did.
Did you watch the video, or did you watch the episode, or was it?
Wait, it was actually on an episode you guys were talking about?
Yes. We just had Riley on, and we talked about his...
Well, hey, I guess the only thing I have to say about that is, like, I finished the video, and, like, he had an opportunity to do revisions.
Yeah.
Like, every video I do, the client has an option to do revisions, and he just never got back to me with revisions. So it's like, if I got the revisions, I'd be down to keep working on it.
Do you know what the issue was, or what the disdain was about it?
Not too clear. I mean, I know the timeline, he was probably a little frustrated with that.
Yeah.
Just how long it took. But at the end of the day, like, I was totally down to update it and stuff. But I don't know. It's like you do a lot of videos and stuff like that. 99% of them come out the way you want them. Sometimes things don't go so perfectly. But
yeah, for sure.
I told him at the end of the day I could do revisions. He just
never
didn't
did
seem interested.
I think what you just said was probably the truest statement. I think it was by the time the video was finished, he felt like it's pointless because it was too late for him. But I give a lot of advice to artists on this subject, and I'm kind of realizing right now that I give advice not necessarily knowing the absolute facts, but you probably do. Like let's go back to like a Chief Keef video. How long? What was the first video you shot for him?
Now it's over.
Yeah. So like you shot that video, and then how long did it take you? How long was it after you shot it to when it was released?
Let's see. When did I shoot that? I mean, we dropped it like right at the beginning of 2013, and I shot it like right at the end of 2012.
So it was a long time.
Yeah. I mean, as soon as it was done, like, I don't think they dropped it right after it was done. But yeah, there's always a a time period. You know, it's not usually that an artist just drops the video as soon as it's done. You know,
right? There's a strategic release to it
exactly,
because that's so. So
like
when
we had to set up with World Star and stuff.
Yeah.
Like that,
So when artists tell me like they want the video so they can drop it quickly, I always think like, well, wait till you're in the place. You know, I mean, what if you get to the place where you want to be in your career, where you're like a superstar? These guys, like Jay-Z, doesn't shoot a music video and then drop it a week later.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like
a big
there's
thing is
a strategy behind that.
Exactly.
You're not going to tell director X like, hey, I need to drop that.
It depends on the artist though. Like if you have 10 million subscribers, you can just drop it whenever.
I guess that's true. That's true.
But yeah, coming up, marketing is important, and you got to get blog placements or whatever it is. You got to come up with some kind of strategy. Because it happens sometimes. Like you make a dope video, and then the artist only gets like under 1,000 views, and like, what do you like?
Does that piss you off?
I mean, not necessarily. Hey, everyone, that's their choice.
I mean, it is, but I
mean, I guess a lot of people don't necessarily know how much of an impact they can have with their marketing and stuff like that. Yeah, it does a little bit. I don't know.
I'd have to imagine it would, just because, like, yes, they're artists, but you're an artist too, and you're putting your work into this, like, and now you're just gonna flop it out there, like it's just some.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of artists, they just kind of expect like just the song and the video are just gonna naturally take off because it's good and stuff like that. And I guess in this day and age, that's just not how things work. Even back in the day, like you still had to promote, and you got to be creative with your promotion.
Yeah.
You know, for me, like I've found Facebook groups, like not just posting on your own Facebook. Mm-hmm. Facebook groups are super effective. Like my channel, it gets a lot of views on stuff that has Glow Gang related stuff in the title.
Yes.
Because that's where most of my subscribers are from.
Yeah.
But then when I drop something that I want to drop, the views don't necessarily come right away. So then I'll promote on Facebook groups, and I can pretty much scale it linearly. Like you just got to keep posting on different groups, and then the views.
That's interesting.
Go up. That's one way, you know.
Facebook groups.
That's one of many. Like I definitely got to upgrade my promotion strategies to. It's a whole nother ball game though. Like a lot of artists, they spend a lot of time making their art. They make the work, and that takes so much effort and stuff. And then promotion, they're just kind of tapping out at that point. But really, promotion is like you should be spending just as much time, if not more.
Yeah, I would say more for sure.
That's crazy. That's the thing.
Yeah, what you're saying to me right now is like maybe the most important piece of what we're missing in Minnesota is like.
Oh yeah.
You can't be an artist that has 5,000 followers on Instagram and think that just dropping the project and then posting it twice is enough. It's not.
Yeah.
You know, like you'll hear about like how long, I'm just as an example, how long was Bodak Yellow out before it popped? Wasn't it a couple years?
I don't know.
You know what I'm saying? That's just an example, but you'll hear about that happening where like this artist will drop a song and then 3 years later it'll catch. You know what I mean? Like it happens all the time. Albums too. Like
yeah. For independent artists, that's you got to be playing the long game.
For sure.
It's most important.
For sure. So as far as your music video career, like are you being very picky and choosy about what you're doing?
That and also like I'm doing mostly corporate work right now.
Yeah.
So that's like, it's honestly like a lot less stressful, and it's pretty easy, and you know it pays well, and I don't really have that many complaints about it. So
it seems like that's where a lot of the top tier videographers are going. You know, I see High Def talk about it a lot.
Yeah, I mean it's the most sustainable way for a videographer to make money. You know, the music video stuff, you really like you got to be pumping music videos out hard to be a music video only director. You know.
Yeah.
Or you got to be Cole Bennett and just be at the top of the game.
Yeah, how did Cole Bennett get to where he is?
Honestly, he was like, if I would have just kept on with my original music video strategy, it was pretty much like that. Like that's what it looked like to me. You do a music video for a smaller artist, and then a slightly bigger artist sees it. Do a video for that artist, then a slightly bigger artist sees it, and it really just like
it's like a pyramid.
That's how it worked for me.
Like a pyramid scheme.
If the quality's there, literally you do one video, and if it's really good, like. It just eventually scales.
Yeah.
You know, you just keep going. That's really.
So did you just lose patience with it, or you just didn't want to do it anymore? You just disliked it?
It was just overkill, you know?
Yeah.
Like I love music videos, I really do.
Mm-hmm.
But when music videos were the thing that was keeping me away from movies, then that all of a sudden made me love them a lot less.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So, but
So
they're still in the game. I'm still in the game. Yeah, it's just all about balance when it comes to filmmaking and the types of videos I make. You know.
what does an artist have to say to Ben Hughes in order to get you to shoot the music video?
I mean,
That's the right
I
approach.
consider like they don't have to say any magic words or anything. You know, just send me the song, send me what you're trying to do, and like I'm very strict on my rates and stuff like that. I don't really give discounts and stuff. Yeah, like there's not really much to say. Just send me an inquiry. I'll check out your stuff, and maybe we can make it work.
So if you don't, but I assume you're at the point in your career where if you don't like the song or like the music, you probably will decline.
Yeah, for the most part, but I don't want to be too like. I don't want to involve my personal biases too much.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of music that I don't necessarily like that I know is popping and
For
I know
sure.
a lot of people like.
Yeah.
So I try to keep an open mind, you know.
Yeah. But if somebody sends you an unmixed piece of shit,
Well, it depends. I wouldn't just shoot that, but I would potentially reply and just be like, "Hey, like, we'll talk once this is the final mix," you know. Or
that's really dope that you do that.
yeah, I did one time shoot a video for a song that was so unmixed and stuff like that. It was kind of funny, but
Who was it?
I don't even remember the dude's name. Like, cause the dude hit me up. Like, he wasn't even from Minnesota. He doesn't even have social media. He was just like found my number somewhere, and then was like, and then this is actually a funny story too. Like, we shot it over North Minneapolis. The dude was from I think Chicago, and he found my number on Instagram or something, and like, I guess this guy just didn't know like protocol for this type of stuff. It was a kid. He was like 16.
Okay.
And like he had guns in the video and stuff like that, and he didn't even know to like remove the bullets or anything. I had to like I had to like say, I had to tell him, and then he was like he was there with his uncle, I think.
Okay.
And he was like, it's funny, I'm always talking about guns in music videos, but so I told him, and then he gave the gun to his uncle, and he was all talking to his uncle like, why do we gotta remove the bullets, blah blah blah. and he's just like, look, this is blah blah blah, and I hear them having a little argument or whatever. That was kind of a sketchy situation.
It sounds like it.
But yeah, they removed the bullets like always. Just I'm trying to remember what the dude's name was. Fuck. Yeah, like the dude just called me out of nowhere one day.
How long ago was this?
That was like 2 years ago.
Oh wow. So
Yeah.
fairly recently.
Yeah, and he just like asked me to come that day and shoot the video, and I was like, shit. Like, all right, fuck it.
Fuck it.
Yeah, there's always funny situations like that. That was by far the most like kind of out of touch person I ran into, you know, in the sense that they didn't know protocol.
Yeah. So he was probably
professional
a
stuff.
kid from Chicago.
Yes.
Maybe big.
He recorded the song on his phone.
Maybe a really big fan of Chief Keef.
Yeah.
Saw that you had shot some of his videos and was like, that guy.
Yeah.
That's the guy we need. And had
Yeah,
no
I
idea
guess
what he
so.
was doing. Did the video turn out all right?
I think it turned out pretty good.
Is it still out there?
Another story.
Oh.
I don't want to keep on
No.
bragging on these people,
No.
but the dude didn't give me the final payment.
Oh,
So
he never
like
got
I
the
sent
video.
him a private link, and then he tried to drop it from a screen recording, and I had to be like, hey, you can't do that, and file a copyright complaint on YouTube. But yeah, that's the type of shit. Like the entire process was a little weird. But again, corporate work saving the day. You know.
Yeah.
I think a lot of videographers need to get their foot in the door with that. You know.
Yeah, I mean, so on that note of removing bullets from guns.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on this whole the Alec Baldwin situation? Like that's got to be.
Yeah, I mean that's just a product of bad production management. You know, safety protocols. But
Why are there as someone that spent time on a film set? Why are there even bullets there?
yeah, that
Why
is
are
kinda
bullets
weird.
even present in the building? That's the weird part to me.
See, I can't even imagine how that would happen.
Feels like a
beats me,
conspiracy. There's a conspiracy there somewhere. I feel like somebody.
I mean, maybe the weapons manager had his own gun or something, and they got mixed up.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's possible,
That's
and
just-
they're kind of covering for him. But what's weird is like See, that actually makes sense. Maybe it was Alec Baldwin's real gun, and they're covering for him.
Maybe
because if it was just a random on-set worker, they'll throw that motherfucker under the bus quick to save Alec Baldwin's ass. But if it was Alec Baldwin's gun,
yeah,
they might try and cover up as much as possible. Yeah, that's such a wild and sad situation, man.
Yeah. What's the verdict? Did they
I believe all charges were dropped on Alec Baldwin, yeah. The other people were charged, but I don't think anybody's going to prison. And I'm not sure anybody should go to prison. I mean,
I don't know, man. See, that's the type of stuff everyone online likes to react to stuff like that and put their 2 cents like they know exactly how it should go. And it's like we can't even if we do all the research, we still can't know from the other side of our phone unless we were there, you know.
Yeah, it's such a wild scenario. Like,
yeah,
we really can't know, and I mean, we don't know how like the courts and the law looks at that too.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, they probably don't see shit like that very often. Like, I don't know what is accidental shot in the face. What at a film set? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen on any of my film sets.
Yeah,
sure.
I'd imagine.
No real guns, not even a BB in a BB gun or something.
I mean, what if you get to that when you get to that point though, where you are up there with the big dogs? Don't you kind of have to
use real guns?
I mean,
you can use. There's good prop weapons, but
is there?
Yeah, I mean,
I suppose everything was CGI now.
Yeah, it's just all about, I guess, safety protocol. You know, you just got to take a look at the weapons, make sure, like, just check everything.
Yeah.
You know, and props, not real guns.
Yeah. Where are you in the AI race?
Man, like, I'm not using it right now, but I'm doing all the research. Not all the research, but I'm looking into it.
Yeah.
I just discovered this thing called Autopod. Have you heard of it?
I have not.
It's a automatic podcast editor. I saw some ads for it. It's really good.
Real quick, no.
Autopod.
Autopod.
Yeah, it's an app, and they it automatically cuts the podcast, and it can also remove like dead silences and stuff like that. And that's nothing, man. Like,
yeah,
this AI shit. It's gonna be interesting to see where this shit goes.
Bro, they're making Drake songs better than Drake right now. Like,
yeah, I heard that.
It's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy. So, I mean, I imagine this is something that's going to impact you in your career greatly. I don't know what the impact, if it's a positive or negative impact, but it's going to impact.
Yeah.
Films.
I mean, I think when it comes to films and stuff like that, I think the first thing it's going to impact is going to be like CG.
For sure.
You know, CGI. Because have you seen Midjourney?
No.
It's well, you know, ChatGPT, right?
Yes.
Midjourney is basically a program that generates art from scratch based on a prompt. So you could tell it, like, draw me a picture of a dog lifting weights, and it would draw like a bunch of different variations and like really good art of whatever you tell it to. Yeah. And like, they already have AI generating video. It's just not that good looking, but
yeah.
They say this is the worst it'll ever be, you know.
It's only going to get better.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I imagine in like 5 years, you could put out a film starring George Clooney.
Yeah, I mean, there'd be legal issues with that, but
that's
technology is there.
But that's
for sure.
the weird part about it to me is, like, at what point do we get to a place where even George Clooney can't stand there in front of you and be like, that's not me, because it looks and sounds exactly like him on a film screen. It's like it's like my word against yours. Now, you were here, bro.
Yeah.
You shot that film with me and you know it.
I mean, once people know that the technology is there, they're going to be more likely to, I guess, listen to someone's word if they say that's not really me.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, it's tough. Like,
but on another hand, actors and actresses are going to be able to license their AI.
Yeah,
they're already doing it.
That is true.
They're already doing it. I mean, I heard Howie Mandel was on Joe Rogan last week, and he was saying that he's already licensed his AI to a Korean company. So they can use his voice for commercials and ads and shit like that. Like, it's already being done. And so at some point, actors aren't even going to have to show up.
Yeah, they won't have to. But I think there's going to still be a demand to create from scratch, you know? I mean, cameras are still going to exist.
True.
So even though we can generate that stuff, actors are going to want to act, directors are going to want to direct, and I think audiences, some audiences aren't going to care whether something's made by AI or not, but I think some audiences are going to be like, no, I want to watch something made by people.
Yeah.
You know?
That's true.
Especially on something like a podcast or something. Like, people want the human human experience that we don't have to.
Yeah, that's probably where it's going to be the wildest, is podcasts and interview shows, because we will be at a point probably not too long from, we're probably already there if you got the right stuff, but like we're almost at a point where there's no reason I can't sit here and interview 50 Cent without 50 Cent actually here and then put it out to the public.
Well, right now, I don't know if it's 100% there for convincing, but we're getting there quick. It's like technology grows exponentially.
Yeah.
You know, that's the thing. It's hard
I'm not going to need Ben Hughes to show up for an interview.
Well, right now I'm not licensing my AI rights anytime soon to anyone.
But yeah, I mean, it's, I mean, it is one of those things where I feel like we kind of just got to go with it because it's here. Well, we can't stop it. We're not going to stop it. So, I mean, let's just see it. And I feel like it is going to end up being like every other piece of technology that's come along, where it's like it's scary at first, and then we adapt, and eventually it's just a normal thing. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I feel like people say right now that, at least the people I'm like researching or listening to, they're saying that AI is going to help solo entrepreneurs the most.
Yes.
Like, it's going to get rid of like the lower level employees the most, and it's going to help the solo entrepreneurs. Like, people were saying, like, imagine a future where instead of all these gigantic companies, it's just a couple of small companies of like a person or two or something with like an AI army working for them.
Like Live on Lake Street.
Some shit. I don't know.
We need an AI army over here.
Yeah, I mean, like the first place to start, honestly, would be like with short form content. There's so many AI apps out there that'll edit short form content.
Yeah. And
like automatic subtitles, which that's not even the half of it, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard of a couple of apps that are, they'll cut your episodes up into clips.
Yeah.
They'll find, like, there's AI apps out there that can find intriguing portions of your shit and cut that down. And then
so I'm looking into all of that, but right now I'm still very picky about the decisions and stuff like that. Because like, sure, I could do it, but I'd end up going back in there anyway to micromanage and stuff like that. And to be involved in the choices. But
for sure,
we'll see where it goes.
Yeah. I'm wondering I'm curious about your take on the blue check phenomenon too.
On where? On
all of
Twitter?
Them. All of them. I mean, I think at this point you can pay for your blue check on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram now.
Yeah, I mean, once they did that with Twitter, I think like Meta realized like, oh yeah, that's like, because Twitter, they started bringing in way more revenue and stuff like that. It makes sense for the platforms to do that business wise. You know?
What do you think? You see a lot of I see a lot of pushback on it. I think it's a really good thing. I think it's a really good. I think it's something that I wish they would have done a long time ago, because you do see a lot of fake pages and troll pages and people that want to be out here hurting people's feelings behind a fake profile. And I think that's talking about that's the big one, is talking about things that they don't know about. Giving out information, bad information to people. I think having that blue check, is a really good thing. It just shows.
Yeah, I mean, to verify identities, that makes sense.
Thing,
like you want to be able to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got nothing against it. It makes total sense.
Yeah, I think and then at some point they'll come up with something even more. Everybody will have the blue check, and then at some point there will be a platinum cross, maybe it's just going to be all about just followers and who you are. Maybe.
I don't know.
Yeah, you might be right. Yeah, I don't know either, but I definitely, I'm all for verification, and if you can afford however, I think I pay $8 a month for the Twitter one.
Yeah,
if you can afford it, do it. Do it. I mean, that to me, that's the other thing too, is like, if it gets you in a position where somebody might pay more attention to you, and that's part of your career is people paying attention to you, do it. Why not? It's like, you're not trying to, people, I seen like they're trying to be fake famous. It's like, no, I'm not, nobody's trying to be fake famous. Like, I'm just, a blue check's someone's going to look at me quicker or longer with a blue check.
Yeah, it makes sense. Like, especially with Twitter, they promote your posts more.
For sure.
They get more reach with the blue check.
You can edit your tweets.
Yeah.
Undo your tweets, shit like that. Yeah, there's
it just depends. Like, I guess so many people just don't want to. They want to stick it to the man. They don't want to give their money to Elon or Mark Zuckerberg or whatever. And it's like,
you're already.
That's your choice.
We're already
Who
all
cares?
giving them. We're already all getting them rich, regardless. Like, who cares? But you know that was probably my favorite one. Is like I want to get it the right way. Well, that's over.
That's gone. Yeah,
that's over now. So go buy it. Yeah. You're never going to earn your blue check ever again. Now that they know that they can get you $15 a month, they're coming for your 50. They did. I mean, Elon took the blue check away from celebrities.
Oh yeah, that's crazy.
Well, I predicted that. I told Chief that like a month ago. Like, watch, he's going to remove. He's taking that blue check away, and I'm sure he's making it seem like he's making them pay for it. I doubt it. He's just using them to promote paying for it. Like I'm sure he gave them all back their blue checks, and asked them all to just say something about it. Because why wouldn't you? Like, you got someone with 2 million followers. Yeah, let me take your little blue check and then tweet about the blue check, and then I'll give it back to you. It's the best promotion.
Yeah.
Right?
I don't know.
I don't know. So, man, okay, well, so you got the series coming.
Yes, the series Metamorphosis.
Do you have? You said what?
Metamorphosis.
Metamorphosis. I thought you said a date. Do you have a date in mind?
I do not have a date right now. Right now, we're in the process of finishing up the first season, technically. So last time I was on here, I basically was keeping it all under wraps. I was telling, it's every episode is its own story. It's 50 episodes shot across all 50 states.
Whoa.
That's the big secret I've been keeping. So
shit.
50 episodes shot across all 50 states, and each episode is its own story, its own genre, and it all takes place in the same world as the Protectors and stuff like that. So it's about society adapting to just a change of perspective and what people think is real.
That's fire.
So, like, what would it be like to live in a world where that type of stuff is possible? And that opens the door to so many other supernatural possibilities and stuff like that. So it's supposed to be something that makes you think and feel rather than all superhero excitement, stuff like that. And it's really about maturing the world that I'm building. Like, my main intention for the future of everything related to the Protectors and the universe I'm building is to have it be more grounded, more realistic, more complex, like, and everything's gonna be R-rated too. That's the big thing. Like, there's not a lot of R-rated superhero movies and stuff like that. And
Deadpool and the
Logan, the boys.
Logan and the boys.
Yeah.
Yep.
So trying to keep it more grounded and stuff like that, more realistic. Like, I feel like with a lot of sci-fi stuff and superhero stuff, the writers they allow themselves to slack and stuff in some ways because it's like, oh, it's just a superhero movie. We don't have to keep our logic consistent and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And for me, like, I'm really trying to challenge myself to not have that mindset and really ground everything in reality as much as possible.
That's
from
dope.
here on forward.
That's dope.
And not pull any punches. And the big thing is just like real life is R-rated,
Yeah.
So censoring everything to PG-13,
X-rated.
like, that just cuts off realism,
Yeah.
Yeah, so
That's really
just
dope.
maturing the series, and as I mature myself,
Yeah, that's great to hear, because that's definitely how I prefer my superhero, supernatural movies, for sure, and just content in general, shows, whatever, however you want to do it. But
it's not to be gratuitous or extra. It's just all about, like, if someone gets stabbed, there's gonna be blood.
Yeah.
Sometimes people say the F word. That's life.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So.
No, I think that's really important. I think maybe you could tell me, and we don't need to go off on a tangent about it, but I feel like The Dark Knight is what kind of opened that up. Even though The Dark Knight wasn't all the way R-rated.
Yeah, it was PG-13.
It was dark, and there was some more realistic themes in the movie. And then I think people were like,
Yeah, that's still to this day the gold standard for superhero movies.
It is. Do you look at it that way?
I do. That's
Yeah.
like, it's top 3.
For sure.
Top 3 favorite movies, honestly.
Yeah, it might be in mine too.
Yeah. It's hard to say. Like, my favorite superhero movies right now are The Dark Knight, Spider-Man 2, Sam Raimi, the 2004 one.
Okay.
I really did love Avengers Endgame. Like, that was the best theatrical experience. And then, but honestly, like, my perfect superhero movie, it really doesn't exist yet. Like, I want something with, like, the tone of, like, a Logan movie, for example.
Yep.
Or, say, Daredevil on Netflix. That is actually, that's up there. Daredevil's on Netflix
good.
For sure.
Yep.
It's because it's just so grounded, and, like, you really believe, like, that it's real, in that world. And that's something you don't see that often in superhero stuff.
To be real, I think the Dark Knight trilogy is one of the greatest trilogies of all time, because
it's consistently
the
good.
first one what was it? Begins? Batman Begins?
Batman Begins, yeah.
People, that one got slept on because it didn't have the, I think, the Heath Ledger addition to it. But that shit was
I think they were still finding their footing, trying to figure out how to translate Batman to a realistic world.
And then Dark Knight Rises was solid as fuck too.
Yeah.
Bane was a phenomenal character.
I like the Batman a lot too, though.
The new one.
The new one.
Oh, I did too. It got panned, but
I think it was just very slow paced,
Yeah.
It was a 3-hour movie.
Yep.
And not 3 hours in the way Avengers Endgame was. It was 3 hours. It was a
yeah,
slow burn.
It was.
They weren't catering to mainstream audiences.
Yeah.
The director, Matt Reeves, he got a lot of creative control, and that was his vision.
I loved it. I personally, I'm with you. I loved it. I loved every minute of it.
I do right now. Like I love like Bale and Pattinson and all the Batmans, but I think Pattinson's portrayal, to me, it just stood out the most.
He's good
because it just had that gravitas, that gravitas that the fucking cartoon had in real life. And I wasn't even sure it could translate to the real life.
Yeah, man, I agree with you. I like Pattinson. I think he's good. I thought he was going to be good.
Straight up, that's unequivocally my favorite Batman right now.
Really,
based on his portrayal. Yeah.
Wow.
Because I was just surprised how well he could act through the suit.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
Yeah. No, he did great. I agree with you. He's a good actor. He kind of got put in a box with the whole Twilight thing, but no, Robert Pattinson, he's good. He's really good at what he does. And yeah, he is a good Batman. Well, we got to wrap, man, but
for sure.
Before we wrap, give me final thoughts. Tell them where they need to go, what they need to look for, everything.
Yeah, well, right now, all my future stuff, just going to want to look at youtube.com/Limitbreaker Studios, my main YouTube channel. That's where I'm going to be releasing episodes of the series. That's where
straight to YouTube.
Straight to YouTube.
I love it.
youtube.com/Limitbreaker Studios.
Okay.
And follow me at Ben the Filmmaker on social media. The name's Ben Hughes. I make movies and stuff.
For sure. I appreciate your time. I'm glad we could do it again.
Yeah,
we'll see you again in about a year.
For sure.
Come on back.
Good to see you.
All right, another episode of Minnesota's #1 daily show live on Lake Street. I'm Jake Faircloth. Follow me everywhere at Jake Faircloth1. We out.
It ain't that I can't stop, it's that I won't stop. I made a few plays off a flip, now I'm on top. I'm Southside Chief, homie, yeah. What you know about it? Lake Street legend CEO, not the co-founder. What you wanna know about me? I'm so churched up, I'm the last man standing, but I went first up. Most hated, they don't say it when I roll up. The things that people say about me, they don't say close up. Check it, I ain't been to the booth in a minute. Niggas hate the fact that I'm winning. Who makes him the chief of the south side? Oh my nigga, I'm not the lieutenant. When I was in the gym, you wasn't in it. FaceTime, so my windows is tinted. If I said that shit, then I meant it. Niggas gave me the rules and I bent it. Same nigga that was trapping while I was suspended. You wasn't in them hallways banging, boy, you wasn't in it. Really a genuine nigga, homie, don't get offended. From East Lake, South Murder, I'm just it ain't that I can't stop, it's that I won't stop. It ain't that I can't stop, it's that I won't. Say it ain't that I can't stop, it's that I won't stop. I made a few plays off a flip, now I'm on top. I'm Southside Chief, homie. What you know about it? Southside Chief, homie. Now what you know, look, I'm Southside Chief, homie. What you know about it? Lake Street legend CEO, not the co-founder. What you wanna know about me?